when you're at an age where you can, as a woman, you can date the son or the father, how do you navigate that? Like, is age really a thing, or are people still respecting the whole age thing these days? Like, oh, well, he's 15 years my senior, I don't want to talk to him, or she's 15 years my junior, I don't want to, deal with somebody that young. So, and I'll just be honest, a lot of what I hear, like my friends who are in their like maybe mid 40s, the guys already established, got their careers, money, X, Y, and Z. None of them want, I take that back, not none. They don't typically want women in their 20s. We have one friend, he's like obsessed with like young women.
How young is young?
I don't know, like
22 young or 27 young?
I don't know, like one night he brought a girl like to our little friend group.
Your little freak off?
No, just like one of our little like hangouts. It was just, and two of my friends were drunk, and like they were like just making jokes about how young she was.
So she was like 19.
She was young, so I think she was probably like maybe under 25.
Okay.
I would assume that because he's like 44, 45. So
okay, I was like, let me hear the jokes, because let me hear what Aaron and her friends be saying when I come around.
No. I was just laughing. Oh, and you met all these people.
Oh, that night we went to dinner?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they were all there too. Matter of fact, I think they were all there. But yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say like
I never thought about that.
Chaotic, right? He was here. See, I didn't know this, but hypothetically, one of the questions for the icebreaker was he chose Sweetie as the girl to have the last 24 hours type of intimate stand.
Yeah, young,
the
though.
icebreaker
Is
question.
Well,
I mean, how young is Chaotic? He's young.
Well, I don't know their ages, but what I'm saying is, then he took it back, and
He's like her mom.
Mom, exactly. So now I'm saying this is not true, hypothetically speaking. If I were to date Sweetie right now, I don't know, because I didn't know what her mom looks like. Now me and her are rocking out, and then I see her mom, and then that's when I'd be like,
you like, dang,
I see where you get it from, but I might want this right now. I might see where you're going, but I want where it's at, right? So that's how I took the question, like not intentionally, playing the fence on between the parent and the child, but more so like, damn, I didn't know this was this.
I actually just seen that in a show. I just rewatched Harlem. That's on Amazon Prime. Y'all watched it with Megan Good. So one of the girls in Harlem,
like she put us on. Have you seen it?
Have you seen it? Trying to make sure y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, so one of the girls, she's a lesbian and has sex casually with this girl she met at the bar, whatever. But she's been trying to start this new dating relationship with an older woman. So one night she finishes with the girl from the bar at the house because she gets a call from the girl she's trying to date, saying, come over. She goes over to the girl's house, and homegirl from the bar comes out the bathroom, and she's like, yo, what are you doing here? And she's like, how do you know my daughter? So she was sleeping with the mom and the daughter. But and I was actually wondering, I was like, well, how old are you? Because I know that the woman she's been trying to date, she kept referencing that this lady was older than her. But I'm like, well, how young is the daughter then? Well, actually, my best friend, actually, she's dating my best friend, my age, 27. She's dating someone who is her mom's age. Literally, he could be dating her mom. They are the same age.
Okay.
Are you confused?
No. I'm actually thinking about something now.
Yeah, that's what I'm carrying.
Is there like what I'm thinking about is like the trust issues when, let's just say,
like bringing them around
from the older mom or dad, the older parent dating the person that's in between both their ages. Like all right. You get what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. And let's say the younger person, let's say he's 30, dating the 50-year-old mom, and she has a 27-year-old daughter.
Right.
Right? And I feel like there would be, like some type of trust issues that might be going.
I just watched a movie last year where that happened. She had a younger daughter, and the guy that the daughter was dating was like her age, was older anyway. And the daughter was bringing him around, and they eventually started to like each other.
So he was dating the daughter.
Yeah, because
And
he
then
only
eventually
dates
ended
young
up-
girls, and eventually started dating her mother because
Well,
they
I
were
don't know if I
closer
can
in
witness
age.
that. My homie said that if his relationship doesn't work out, he's only going to date a girl who's 25, 26. And
Did he say why?
38.
Did he say why?
Say it wrong.
So he can manipulate her.
Not manipulate.
I
Just,
was about to say it has to be like a control thing.
no, it's just the fact that they probably are just more receptive.
Being more receptive, manipulation.
or they lack
It's like-
enough self-awareness to understand that they can't see through his bullshit.
Yes,
and he doesn't want
it's a
anybody
little
to
one
be
and
able
the
to see through
same.
that.
I don't think it's always like a two-way street. Sometimes it's just like maybe he just had the unfortunate experience of women around his age who are just fucking hard-headed.
Right.
That could be his reality.
And when you're that young, your frontal lobe isn't all the way that developed.
Shut the
So,
fuck up.
like-
Marie, you see what you do? You see what you do?
So it's like,
mush head.
I'll tell her
You're an
this,
idiot.
and
You was talking
I'll
with-
groom her.
So
That's
you
really what it is.
So you had the nerve. So you got the nerve to tell me you've been on 8 at the table talking without your frontal lobe fully developed, little nigga.
And whose fault is that? I ain't put myself on this couch.
Took yourself off.
I ain't gonna lie. If I was like trying to date somebody like significantly younger than me, that would be my reason. So that I can make sure that I can control the narrative,
Mhm.
I control their movement, I control their situation, I control everything. That would be the
Not
reason.
because they have much to offer me.
Yeah, it's because I want to be in control.
Well, technically they do, right?
What?
Well,
Youth. Keep
I
you
think
young.
that grooming is real, but grooming is everyday life. Your job grooms you to have a schedule. You know, school grooms you to learn a curriculum. Everything is grooming. And so if we get to a point where somebody's like, all right, cool, I just want something I can mold that's going to fit me or my life or my desires, I don't actually think that there's something wrong with it. Now, when there is, I do draw the line when you rob someone from their innocence, like 20 years old, 21 years old, and you're 50 years old, I'm against that. But if you're like 26, 25, 27, in that age range, and you're more receptive, malleable, coachable, I'm not mad at that.
What you said about grooming and your job and what was the other thing you said?
Like schooling, like your curriculum.
Your schooling and your curriculum and your job, those are all necessary evils. You're making a choice to choose somebody younger just to groom them.
And that's more work.
That's
Ooh.
I think that says more about you as the person, not being where you want to be in your life, that you feel the need to find somebody that's not on your level to make everything you do look and appear great and outstanding, when really you probably can't compete with men at your age that are dating the women of your age. That's what I think it is. I don't think it's
well,
Right, because
I-
you
I
could
would-
make the choice
I
to
would-
find someone your
but
own
no.
age
and
that
it's not sex, because
It's
the
not the
younger
sex.
woman is, yeah, fine, she could be freakier and younger, but a woman is in her prime in her 40s anyway.
says
To me, nasty.
who?
says Rome that knows.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. And I would say, I wouldn't even argue about the sex. The thing that happens is, within time comes experience. Within experience becomes potentiality for being tainted or to be tainted from your experiences. So now you have these preset notions or these predetermined mindsets that you are literally trauma responses from being 30, 40 years of bullshit, right? So now you're married to what you know, because what you know is true, but it's only as true as your last relationship. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's your truth going forward. However, you still carry it with you because you know it can be another situation that repeats itself. So now when you have somebody who has to deal with the baggage or deal with the trauma and the trauma responses and of your new realities and your new mindsets, now he's fighting 1,000 wars. So I'm not mad if somebody says, "Oh, listen, I want somebody who may be more inexperienced, who might have less heartbreaks, who might have less mileage," right? Well, that's not necessarily true because they're starting younger and younger nowadays. But they're just more, again, receptive and I guess closer to their innocence potentially.
Can I say one thing when we're talking about fighting a million battles? The younger person is actually going to end up fighting the same battles from that older person's experiences. So it's actually kind of one-sided. It's like, and again, you're looking for someone who's more of a clean slate because they don't already know to watch out for your bullshit. They're still going to have a trauma response to whatever their experiences are with you.
Potentially, right? Sometimes it's a fit. Again, out of sight, out of mind. That's why I believe the most relationships that do well are relationships where people grow together rather than come in with a whole life that they lived before and try to merge them, right? And that's why you see the whole, virgin before marriage. That's why you see the whole arranged marriages and everything that really has been put in place to have people come together without, again, those experiences.
But who's growing?
Well, I mean, growing together, for those in that example, are two people, it's the same concept, just a different situation. You have two people who know nothing, so they're both figuring something out. In this juncture, you have one person who has some experience, and I'm assuming we're talking about ones who are, financially set, that older person who has their shit together. They can actually be a leader by proven concept. I'm not saying in every category, right? But in some categories, you don't have to relive some of these mistakes. You don't have to learn the hard way in this area or that area because I already know it.
That depends on the person.
And that's controlling as hell.
I think everything is control, is what I'm trying to say. At some point in time, you pick your controller, right? It doesn't matter where it is. You're submitting control on your everyday life. But when we talk about submitting control to a relationship, it becomes a problem. But the funny thing is, the longest lasting ones have a controller. You can't both be here. And I don't believe anybody's ever seeing eye to eye or at that eye to eye level. There's always going to be one that's higher. There's always going to be one that's lower. The gap might waver. Sometimes it may be here. Sometimes it might be closer. But there's always going to be someone or something that's in control. And I think that's why we have so much of a failure rate of relationships and marriages, is because we're trying to both be equal. And there's no way we will ever be equal. No way. There's no way. You can't go to your job and know more than your manager and do more than your manager, but your manager's in a position to run shit.
But I don't think it's a proper comparison to compare one's job, and you said this, something you have to do every single day to live versus or comparing it to your relationship that you're choosing to be in. Like, you can leave that person tomorrow and you can still live your life because you have a job and you can still live. You don't have to have that person, but you do have to have a job to live, at least in the United States. I don't know
But
if
you
I know
could lose your job today and get a new one tomorrow. My thing is, we act like we don't need each other. And I always say this.
But that's not what I'm saying, though. I guess one question, when you were saying one person's here, is that like an age thing, or like what's the?
No, I'm saying there's no equality in any way, shape, or form. You can't pick one and name one.
Give me an example, because I'm not clear.
What I'm saying is that there is a.
You just saying
when I say
A and B, they're not.
When I say
but why?
equal, I'm not speaking about equal in terms of the ability to achieve something. I'm talking about equal in terms of the dominance or the controller. One person has more control than the other person.
I understand that, but I'm saying in what respect? Control with respect to what?
Yeah. So I'm thinking, this is how I'm saying it. I don't agree with what you're saying, only because I can have control of my relationship on certain things, and then she could have control on certain things. And it's like an alternating scale, because I do this better than you. Let me take the wheel. You do this better than me. But to say that my word is the end all be all and that's it, never happens.
But what I'm trying to tell you is this. Even if I submit or I relinquish some of the control to you because you do A, B, and C better than me, I'm still granting that control. I have the control to revoke it. So I am still the controller. I'm just relinquishing some of the control because I realize that there's no point for me to be in control in these areas, and you're better suited for it.
Okay.
That doesn't. But understand, I'm allowing it.
But if you don't allow it, you're actually doing it to your detriment.
It's a disservice. But that's
so right. So
then
you're
that's
not
her control.
no. It's not her control. It's her ability. It's my control, my decision, her ability, which is
Even
allowing
if it
me to
is
give her the control.
He gave it to her.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, I'm not that type of strip club person.
Why would they be hanging out with him?
I get my beer or two, and I got this much money, and that's what you're gonna get. So I'm not that guy. I like to throw money up. I would be sick. So that's not me.
over there convulsing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine, but they only go like this, and that shit drives me crazy. Like, let me see something. But again, I'm only giving you $1, so you don't let me see nothing.
Don't let me see nothing.
Yeah, so,
Be frugal with your titties.
she's really giving me $1.
She said,
You know?
"That's all I got for
You got a
$2."
nip slip,
So as far as the strip thing, I can't answer that one because that's just not who I am. But I was thinking about this the other day, where I do understand the older man dating younger women, like how the feeling is. And I think that feeling is like, makes us feel like we still got it. And I think that's completely just to feed our ego, completely to feed our ego. And the fact that we still got it, people see us out with somebody who thinks we still got it. It's just, it helps drive us, as opposed to like, all right, now I got my old lady and we settled down and we go to IKEA and we go to Target, and it's just kind of like the routine and the monotony of just getting older. So I do understand. I don't always agree with, but I completely understand, like, when men have been with women for a long time and they leave the woman, or they no longer are with that woman, or I won't even say cheat, but they, it's a step. They're going to be right back. But they do find something younger, and it most of the time has nothing to do with the older woman. It's just that thing, that fire inside of a man that he feels that he needs to constantly have lit. And he feels like that's the butane, the younger woman. And then the butane lights the fire. And then like, we back. And like, we 20 years younger. And now they got us wanting to go to the gym. Well, I already go to the gym. So, but I'm saying they got the older gentleman trying to go to the gym again and like better his life, as opposed to him seeing where he is, his midlife crisis or whatever, and him on the downhill of life. I don't think there is a control thing if the man is just having fun with this girl. If he's not trying to have a relationship, I don't think he's really worried about the control. I think he's just having fun. But when he tries to like settle down with this person, I think that's when he's like, okay, I'm only settling down with you because I can have my way with you. That's what I think. Because I know like older dudes that can be with a young girl and it's completely like sex, and they make me feel good, and they take me to these places I haven't been, and I feel young again. But getting an actual relationship with somebody 20 some years younger, I think that's just part of your crisis you got going on.
Well, I think that, so here's my thing. Is there a difference between finding alignment, creating alignment, or learning to live misaligned? Right? So that's how I view this, right? If I can have a situation and I can get it to align with me, does that make me a bad person? Or do I have to be subject to learning to be willing to live misaligned with a person who is not in alignment with me, but there's intersections and there's paths that we cross where we can potentially continue to push forward?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm 40, I'm cool with a 30-year-old, even a 29-year-old. Right? Now, that's a pretty decent gap, 10 to 12 years.
That's done.
But if I'm 30, I'm personally not going to do
19.
a 22-year-old.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, I'm sorry. Not 30. Well, even at 30, I probably wouldn't do it. But at 40, I'm definitely not doing a 22-year-old on purpose. Right? On purpose. If it's a vibe and it's the night, yeah, I might fuck around, right? Depending on how old she looks and how old I feel she is.
Is that when you know her age?
No, I mean, you typically don't know. I mean, you do ask at some point.
So it's like, if the vibe is there, you going to let the vibe continue, or you going to be like, wait, how old are you?
I'm in a club. We're vibing. I got girls. I'm out of state.
Vacation.
I got a hotel or an Airbnb, right? And, it's been lit. I got 10 girls in this section. I don't know the age of 9 of them, but one of them says she's 22 or 23, but she's beautiful as fuck. And I might be like, you know what? And I'm going to tell him like, yo, I really shouldn't be fucking with you. but I'm gonna fuck with you today, right? And that's what I mean by on purpose, right? But
Then
after
you go
that,
have a kid blowing up your phone.
Nah,
After
nah,
that.
first of all, the 22-year-olds be more gangster nowadays, and then they tell everybody they fucked you. Like, what? Calm down, sweetheart. But anyways, that's what I mean by on purpose. But would I seek to date that person? Never, ever. You know. And they always have the young age, like you used to do that shit. Like, how old are you? Be like, guess. I'm like, oh, she young as fuck.
yeah, you know,
Like,
you can hear it in
she
their
either
speech.
young as fuck or old as fuck. It's one of the two.
She said, period.
Yeah.
First of all, I was about to say you gotta wait for the. Well, actually, I feel like Aaron's the only person I know that says poo at the end. I'll be waiting for it too.
So I wouldn't want to box anybody out and be like, man, you 32, move around. But if you 32
I like when she say that.
and you're mature and you probably give off like a 37 vibe or something like that, then maybe I would date somebody younger. But at a minimum, I don't care what your age is. You could be 50 or 29. You need to be in shape. You need to have your teeth right. Your money
right.
your money needs to be together. Your career aspirations, goal, plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, have things in place. Have a plan that's working. Like, I'm not just going on like a vibe. Like, the vibe isn't enough for me because, to be honest, I can kiki with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, especially with a few glasses of champagne. So I, you know, like, that doesn't matter to me. But anybody with a 2 in front of their age, no.
But a
I
two
could
in front of
kiki
you
with
is-
anybody too, but honestly, the age will really deter me though. Like, we could have a nice conversation, we could vibe, but that's it.
You're 20.
It's a cranberry juice.
Nigga said
Actually,
liar.
Damn, your body is responding.
First of all, I was like, just ignore it. But Rico was making it very obvious.
You
That
can't even-
quick
can you
head
see my
turn.
eyes?
The
Microphone
fucking
was
head turn.
Yeah. Did
These
y'all
are
hear
good
that, Chat? Like, Chat caught that on.
They actually, they're not going to hear it.
I think that's the difference between, like, not to do the man and woman thing, but like women can always pull a dude no matter what age. Somebody's going to find them, somebody's going to want them, size, shape, age, and anything. And that's not going to feed into your ego like, oh, you know, he made me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, not Stella got a groove back. They that's just how they live.
Because really, I'm finna teach you something.
That's it.
That's the
Oh.
best part. That's why I used to love older women. Like, go ahead, I'm coachable, baby. Like,
I mean, I
Like,
feel
call
like
me Mama
first of
Bear.
all,
it's probably only
Anybody
appropriate.
talking to me like that will be a hell no. You
What?
crazy. I'm coachable, baby.
You see the high pitched voice. My voice still kind of high,
She
but
got Werther's in her pocket.
Like,
What?
you got what? What you said? Craziest thing is I be watching Rome put candy in his pocket all the fucking time. I guarantee you got a gummy
Gummy
worm or
bear.
a gummy
You got a
bear
gummy
right
bear.
he's
there.
about to pull some
Look,
shit
that
out
shit
right
warm.
now.
That shit deep in his pocket. He digging. Don't grab anything else with it.
No, I must have eaten
Oh,
it.
you-
In a napkin. Oh, he old.
Oh, he wrapped it in something this time. He wrapped it in something.
Normally
this
they just be in his pocket with lint.
Yeah.
He offered it to our guest last week.